Notre Dame, Ind. A lot can change in 11 months. 5 days fewer than that ago, USC ended Notre Dame's miserable 2016 season with a 4,527 rout. The number 13 Irish turned the tables Saturday, dispatching the number 11 Trojans to the tune of a 4,914 trouncing. Following the 2016 finale, Irish coach Brian Kelly challenged his team to think about the work needed to change the program's trajectory. If they were up for it, then buckle up. I just said the rebuild starts here right now. Everything that we need to do is a commitment that you'll have to make, Kelly recalled following the redeeming victory. So you've got a couple weeks, whether you want to be back here, because it's going to be very difficult. You're going to have to make a 100% commitment to bringing this program back. And they did, at least by the metric of beating USC. Notre Dame left no doubt. Turnovers played a large part in the final result, but they played only a part, unlike the seemingly comparable 3,818 victory over Michigan State back on September 23. The Spartans hung with the Irish in most facets of the game, but turnovers were their ultimate undoing. The Trojans did not hang with Notre Dame, not in the least. The Irish outplayed them in nearly every aspect of the game. Notre Dame outgained them 497 yards to 336, and outrushed them 387 yards adjusting for sacks to 104. USC did not score until the second half, by then already trailing 280. Credit their football team and their coaching staff for the job they did, Trojans head coach Clay Helton said. They came out and executed, I thought, a flawless game plan. Started with the run game. They were extremely physical tonight. Turning point of the game. Sometimes it is most important to take what is given to you. Irish senior linebacker Drew Tranquill did just that when USC punt returner Jack Jones muffed a second-quarter punt inside his own 10-yard line. Having beaten his blocker, Tranquill pounced on the loose ball. This wasn't an excellent play by Notre Dame. This wasn't a great piece of scheming. This was simply an opportunity grasped. The turnovers, obviously, were key for us in the first half, Kelly said. And being opportunistic, which really has been what we've been all year, offensively. 3 plays later, Adams found the end zone from 3 yards out, and the Irish didn't actually need any more points than that 210 lead. At this point, if there is enough time before the end of a half, it should nearly be taken for granted the Irish will produce following a turnover. As much as 17 turnovers to date are a testament to the defense, the resulting 13 touchdowns and a field goal are a credit to the offense making the most of those chances. 2 of the remaining 3 turnovers came in situations where Notre Dame drained the clock. When they take away the ball, you just get so excited, said Irish junior quarterback Brandon Wimbish, who finished 9 of 19 passing for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns along with 106 rushing yards and 2 more scores. Coach Long wants to be aggressive and call a play, usually a shot. The offense has done a great job of turning around and putting points on the board after the defense does a great job. Tranquill's fumble recovery was a gift, a welcome gift. Converting that into a touchdown, rather than a field goal, deflated any USC hopes and only furthered Notre Dame's momentum. Overlooked point of the game. USC nearly halved the Irish lead in the second quarter's opening moments. If not for a minute detail within NCAA rules and the correct implementation of it by the officials, the Trojans very well may have. Trailing only 140, USC faced a 3rd and 4 from the Notre Dame 6-yard line. Trojans junior quarterback Sam Darnold took the snap and rolled toward the left, soon pursued by Irish sophomore defensive end Julian Okwara. With full extension of his body, Okwara brought down Darnold for a 10-yard sack, seemingly ending any Southern Cal hopes of finding the end zone. Flag on the play. Notre Dame sophomore safety Jalen Elliott had been called for defensive holding. Typically, if a defensive back is flagged for that particular penalty, it leads to an automatic first down. Yet the referees granted USC half the distance to the goal and a 3rd down. Junior running back Ronald Jones tried up the middle, but Irish senior linebacker Niles Morgan met him in the backfield. Trojans kicker Chase McGrath missed a subsequent 27-yard field goal attempt. The NCAA rule is defensive holding results in an automatic first down only on passing plays. By the letter of law, a sack is not a passing play. Thus, USC's red zone possession was shortened appropriately. The argument can be made defensive holding leads to the sack. It is a valid argument, but it also heads down the subjective path of differentiating between a sack and a quarterback-designed run. In the end, Okwara does not get credit for the sack. The play never happened, statistically. But because he chased down Darnold and wrapped him up with a dive from behind, USC had only 1 down to gain a yard rather than 4 downs to gain 3. When McGrath missed his field goal, Okwar's sack had turned a likely 7 points into 0. Notre Dame punted on its following possession. That punt was mishandled and recovered by Tranquil, leading to the above turning point. Play of the game, the second Irish touchdown stands out as much for the decisive 2 possession lead it created as for who scored it. Sophomore receiver Kevin Stefferson made a twisting back shoulder grab for the 23-yard catch, his second reception of the season and first moment reminiscent of his breakout freshman season. Rather, the first moment through the air. Stefferson had already taken 2 first-quarter end-arounds for 24 rushing yards, each gaining a first down. Kelly said earlier this week Stefferson would be more involved in the game plan moving forward, after sitting out the season's first 4 games and taking some time to recalibrate to game speed in the next 2, and those rushes certainly showcase Stefferson's speed. I'm proud of guys like Kevin Stefferson, who has been in Siberia mostly this season and comes out and really impacts the game, Kelly said. Stefferson finished the day with 3 catches for 58 yards to go along with those 2 carries for 24 yards. The catch clearly featured Stefferson's hands, perhaps an underrated aspect of his game. While at WASNT the first score, the backbreaking score Wimbish's 7-yard touchdown run in the third quarter or even the points that would provide the winning margin, Stefferson's tally resulted from the first genuine Irish drive of the day. At that point, it was clear Notre Dame would not have much trouble scoring against the Trojans. Considering it was the second touchdown in only 8 minutes plus a 1 second, it set the foundation for a rout that indeed came to fruition. Player of the game for someone. Splitting time with the senior captain up until now, and only seeing more action because of that captain's injury, junior linebacker Tevin Coney had an excellent ballgame. It would have been a career day for most any Irish defender. With a Greer Martini sidelined recovering from a slight meniscus tear, Coney finished with 11 tackles, including a sack, another for loss, and a forced fumble. He recovered himself on USC's first snap. That fumble began when the snap caught Darnold off guard and higher than expected, but he had about gathered himself when junior defensive tackle Jerry Tillery was in the backfield. Tillery could not get the ball from Darnold, nor could sophomore defensive end Dalen Hayes, but they both kept Darnold off kilter. When Coney got to him, he quite literally grabbed the ball out of Darnold's hands. Calling it a fumble would be disingenuous. The ball was never uncontrolled. Coney simply took possession of it. This was part of the Irish plan. We know that Darnold is really loose with the ball, so just attack was the plan, said sophomore defensive end Khalid Kareem, who finished with 2 sacks and received the game ball. Be physical with him. Coney did just that. 3 plays later, Wimbish found junior receiver Equanimeous St. Brown for a 26-yard touchdown and a lead that would not be relinquished. Coney repeatedly found the ball carrier, made 4 additional tackles within a yard of the line of scrimmage and showed a capacity to handle an increased workload. Stat of the game pick from a few. Notre Dame won the turnover battle 3-0. All 3 of those became touchdowns. The Irish sacked Darnold 5 times, with Dalen Hayes and senior defensive end Jay Hayes joining Kareem 2 and Coney in the action. Notre Dame made 5 more tackles for loss. Quote of the evening: junior running back Josh Adams gained 191 yards and 3 touchdowns on 19 carries, including an 84-yard dash that halted USC's second-half momentum after the Trojans scored on each of their first 2 third-quarter possessions. Up until then, Adams had been relatively quiet. At that point, the highlights and hype began anew. Here's what I know, we're going to play some really good football teams the rest of the year, Kelly said. Maybe everyone should just wait until the end of the year and vote for the Heisman? That sounds even sensible. Scoring summary: first quarter 12:45, Notre Dame touchdown. Equanimeous St. Brown 26-yard completion from Brandon Wimbish. Justin Yoon-Pat Good. Notre Dame 7, USC 0. 3 plays, 51 yards, 104,659, Notre Dame touchdown. Kevin Stefferson 23-yard reception from Wimbish. Yoon-Pat Good. Notre Dame 14, USC 0. 10 plays, 79 yards, 319 second quarter 743, Notre Dame touchdown. Josh Adams 3-yard rush. Yoon-Pat Good. Notre Dame 21, USC 0. 3 plays, 9 yards, 036,354, Notre Dame touchdown. Wimbish 4-yard rush. Yoon-Pat Good. Notre Dame 28, USC 0. 7 plays, 59 yards, 308 third quarter 1000, USC touchdown. Steve Mitchell 5-yard reception from Sam Darnold. Chase McGrath Pat Good. Notre Dame 28, USC 7. 12 plays, 77 yards, 500,606, Notre Dame touchdown. Wimbush 7-yard rush. Pat good. Notre Dame 35, USC 7. 8 plays, 65 yards, 354,326, USC touchdown. Deontay Burnett 16-yard reception from Darnold. McGrath Pat good. Notre Dame 35, USC 14. 6 plays, 73 yards, 240,307, Notre Dame touchdown. Adams 84-yard rush. Pat good. Notre Dame 42, USC 14. 1 play, 84 yards, 019 fourth quarter 13-17, Notre Dame touchdown. Adams 14-yard rush. Pat good. Notre Dame 49, USC 14. 5 plays, 52 yards, 137,